Hello, my friends, and the situation is becoming more intriguing by the day. So, today the occupiers are once again starting to gradually advance, which is worsening the situation significantly. And let's start with the Kharkiv direction. So, there is numerous shelling of Kharkiv and the frontline territories. So, near Vovchansk, the occupiers have begun attempts to break through from two sides around Vovchansk, and as a result, there are ongoing battles near the forest of the village of Staritsa, as well as for the village of Tykhe. So they aim to stretch the flanks and create a semi-encirclement of Vovchansk. Meanwhile, the fighting in the city itself doesn't cease. To the west, near the settlement of Lypsti. As of the creation of this video, no offensive actions are being carried out and all previous attacks were unsuccessful, so the front line hasn't changed in the past 24 hours. In the Kupiansk direction, so there are periodic attacks on Synkivka and attempts to advance in the area of the villages of Ivanivka and Kyslivka. So, however, over the past day, they haven't achieved any success and the front line remains unchanged. In the Svatove area, there are ongoing battles for Stelmakhivka, and there are serious breakthroughs in the area of Novoiehorivka. So, and the Russians have managed to reach Druzhelubivka, which is let me find which is here where fighting is now taking place. So the Ukrainian forces are doing everything possible to prevent them from securing new positions, and the front line hasn't changed in the past 24 hours. In the Kreminna direction, so there are battles for Nevske, Torske, and Terny. So additionally, Lyman and the frontline territories are being shelled with heavy artillery. So the situation is difficult, but the Ukrainian forces are managing to hold the defense in the Siversk direction. So attacks on Vyiimka continue. And the general staff reports that fighting is still ongoing for Bilohorivka without confirming its capture by the Russians. So for now, everything remains unchanged here. But in the Chasiv Yar direction, the situation is worsening. So, as reported, the occupiers advanced 1 kilometer and 200 meters in the Klishchiivka area yesterday, and half of the village is now definitely under their control. So, the status of Andriivka remains uncertain. So, the Russians claim to have control of the village, and if this is confirmed soon, so the situation will deteriorate further, allowing them to move closer to Konstantinivka through the fields. And additionally, there are ongoing battles for Chasiv Yar. Of course, according to unofficial statements from Ukrainian soldiers, the Russians are advancing meter by meter and have even secured positions on the outskirts. Therefore, the situation in this direction is gradually deteriorating in the Pokrovsk direction. So the occupiers continue attempts to capture Kalinove, deploying a large number of troops in the offensive and shelling Ukrainian positions. And there are also ongoing battles for Novoalexandrivka, where it's evident that the Ukrainian forces have disrupted their plans and halted their advance towards the highway. So, however, the fighting continues, so it's premature to draw conclusions. And similarly, there are ongoing attempts to break through closer to Novoiehorivka. So, despite significant activity, the Russians have had no success here for over a week. And today they are trying to capture the village of Sokil Novoselivka, Persha, and continuing Shalon in the area. In the Kurakhove direction, the occupiers continue their attempts to capture the northern part of Krasnohorivka with street fighting ongoing. So over the past day, there have been 10 assaults, but there are no changes along the line of contact. So in the Vuhledar direction, there is temporarily lull. So yesterday the occupiers attempted to break through to Staromayorske, suffered losses, and retreated to their previous positions. So there have been no changes along the front line in the Zaporizhia direction. So there is also a lull. No new attacks have been reported, and only bombing with guided bombs by aviation is taking place. And in the Kherson direction, there are reports of fighting in the area of the villages of Krynky and Kozachi Laheri. So over the past day, the Russians conducted 7 assaults, and there is a possibility that the Ukrainian forces have partially moved into Kozachi Laheri, which could explain the start of the fight in there. However, we need to wait for official statements on this matter. So it's possible that the Ukrainian forces are attempting to expand their controlled territory, and Russian war correspondents claim that the Ukrainian forces have managed to expand their bridgehead. So, the information that the enemy left Krynky is not true. The original source of this news was Shari's channel, which took it from a Ukrainian channel that reported the enemy had left Krynky and entrenched in a safer place on the left bank of the Dnipro. In reality, the enemy expanded their bridgehead, but our insane war correspondents turned this loss into a victory over the Ukrainians in Krynky. And now we just need to hang Teplinsky by the balls for allowing this bridgehead expansion. So, overall, we're waiting to see how events will develop further. And yesterday evening, explosions rocked Crimea once again. Numerous blasts were reported near. So here, Novoiehorivka, close to Gvardiiske, which is here, near Simferopol airport, and in Alushta. This is just what is known at the time of creating this video, and we are now waiting for details, but it seems the Russians took a significant hit. So, in Alushta, a hit was confirmed on an empty agricultural facility, according to Gauleiter Aksionov. Meanwhile, local telegram channels report that ambulances headed towards the outskirts of Alushta, Semidvirya, where there is a military settlement of the occupiers. Additionally, one of the Crimean channels writes the local medical workers were urgently called to work. We await official confirmation from our sites. Local residents have posted videos of the explosions in Alushta. So let's watch. Meanwhile, after Putin visited China, he decided to fly to Belarus. So, Putin arrived in Belarus on an official visit. His Il-96 aircraft landed at Minsk National Airport at 11 p.m. His plane and a decoy plane were escorted by 4 fighter jets. So it's worth noting that Putin rarely flies to Belarus, so usually Lukashenko travels to see him. So what to expect from this visit is still unclear. And that's all from me. So please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.